What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul and this is the Leeds Therapy. Thank you as ever for stopping by. If you haven't done so already, if you could subscribe for me, if you could hit the like button, if you could do the notification thing, any comments that you want to make, and I'm sure you'll want to make a lot of comments on this, please feel free, leave them in the comment section down below. So, I'm not going to speak on the shite that was the Middlesbrough game. I've talked about that enough on Joe's channel when I was doing the immediate fan reaction kind of thing. Apologies, this isn't kind of my usual setup. I'm actually sat downstairs in my front room, just trying to suck in the news that we have all heard tonight, as broken by David Ornstein probably about half an hour ago now, with regards to Jorginho Rutter and the fact that his release clause has been met, £40 million. So, a release clause that we knew nothing about, which is just an absolute joke, in all honesty. He now has a decision to make as to whether or not he is going to leave and go and join Brighton. I am terrified now, I think is probably the right word. I feel extremely deflated. I think a lot of our season hinges on Georgie. He is such a talented player. He has the unique gift of being able to unlock defences, do certain things that nobody else can do. And I think the thing that's more annoying, more than anything else, that it would appear that nobody knew about this release clause. And when I say nobody, I mean the local journalists or anything like that knew anything about this release clause. The fact that we paid 35 million for him and his release clause is 40 is an absolute joke in itself anyways. So that means with amortization that we make an £18.5 million profit on that. But I don't know if that's fully correct, because I'm sure Hoffenheim will have a sell-on clause to go with it as well. The way I feel right now, this puts us in such a weak position in terms of the season itself. And I know I always try to be sort of like uber positive and really happy about stuff and try and not look on the bright side, but try and give that kind of reasoned approach. But we have been absolutely, and I'm going to say this, we've been absolutely screwed over by Orta, by Radrizzani. And yes, the 49ers will have known. So where the issue now comes in with the 49ers is they have now got a very, very tough 2 to 3 weeks to try and make anything happen. Anything at all to happen. And I am not confident in the slightest. I mean, I was feeling bad enough after watching that absolute horrific shit show against Middlesbrough, but I am not confident in any way, shape or form. Mr. I do business deals in my sleep. If that we need now, if George is going, we need 5 players to come in, and that just isn't going to happen. And not only that, who's going to want to come in now that, you know, players are just seemingly leaving and going? And listen, don't for 1 minute think that Nonto's going to be starting games, because he's going to be on his way next as well, because he's not going to want to stay. He's just going to go. And it just is typical us, isn't it? Everything that was once built and once done just gets destroyed in an instant. And yes, I get it. You know, we are a championship club. Blah, 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 blah. Don't care. I just want us for one time just to be a normal club. I worry about the direction that we're going in. I worry about the potential that this means for us if we spend another season, another 2 seasons in the championship, because the people that are investing in this club are going to want their money back in some way or form. And I'm sorry to be uber negative about this, but it's a difficult one. Listen, we all know that Georgie could turn around and say, no, I want to stay at Leeds. And if that happens, you build that man a statue right outside Ellen Road right now. Right now. It won't, but it would be incredible if it did. It's difficult because he's our beloved little puppy that can do absolutely magical things. And I don't know where we go from here, because Obviously, there's the Rose situation, but that's not coming off because he wants to go to Marseille. He's pushing for that deal to go through. Marseille have come back with a loan with an obligation to buy, but Norwich don't want that. They want the money up front for the player, and he's made it clear that that's Marseille is where he wants to go. So that's not going to happen. So what does that leave us with? Not a lot, really. Schmodix, but he's probably going to go to Ipswich if Ipswich stump up the cash for it because they're in the Premiership. Wingers. We need wingers. We need a creative midfielder. I just don't see where it's coming from. And this window is currently an unmitigated disaster. And, excuse me, I thought we were being run by sensible people again that could do things and get it right. And I know I always say things like the transfer window will be the transfer window, and that's absolutely fine. But it's very difficult to be positive about anything when you just get absolutely pumped 3-0 at home, by the way. Could have been more. And then an hour after the game finishes, we then hear the news that the release clause for Rutter that we knew nothing about has been activated at 40 million. Which, knowing the way that Mr. I Do Deals in My Sleep works, that will be 20 pence up front with 20 pence paid per year over the next 957,000 years, or whatever. Forgive me, I'm in a very negative mood at the moment. I have a snapped tooth in my mouth, which is absolutely raging. So I'm on a lot of painkillers at this moment in time. Can't get into the dentist until Friday, which is great. So, you know, I'll tell you what, West Brom's going to be fun this weekend, isn't it? Jesus Christ. That's going to do it. I'm gutted. I'm actually genuinely heartbroken. I wasn't upset about Somerville going. It was bound to happen. I wasn't upset about Gray going. I could understand why that happening. But just on a personal level, there's something more that I associate with Georgie. And that is, yeah, it's a more bitter pill to swallow, I think, definitely. And it's very, very upsetting. But it just shows the ineptness of our football club once again. And how serious are they about actually getting out of this league? The next 2 weeks is going to tell. And currently, I don't have a lot of confidence. It's going to do it for this one. I hope you've enjoyed it. Looks like everybody's going to need some Leeds therapy. Again, if you haven't done so already, if you could hit the subscribe button, put the notifications on, and any comments that you want to make, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. This has been Paul from the Leeds Therapy. Take care of each other. Most importantly, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.